السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. We have been studying the story of Sulaiman, the Prophet Sulaiman in the Quran, and we studied up to the verse 22 of chapter 27. So let's read the 22. The meaning: it was not long before the bird came and said, I have found out something you don't know. I have just come to you from Sheba with sure news. Here it is important, the word hupu, I don't know how it's exactly pronounced, but hudhud in the language of the Quran. Then it came back, it was missing, and the Sulaiman was saying, where is it? The animals must be under the, if you like, usage of the human beings, and they are employed to serve human beings in many ways, not necessarily in physical ways, but also as being signs to their creator, so that the human beings will reason by observing them and their activities, their qualities, whatever they do. So we understood that the hudhud, the birds, and several kinds of animals were employed in the prophetic army of the Prophet Sulaiman. Why I said prophetic army, not the army that we understood nowadays the people have, the governments have, or the kings have to impose their power. But prophetic army means the evidence, the whole body of evidence for the message of the prophet, to prove that the message is really correct and makes sense for human beings, so that human beings will feel comfortable to confirm and to follow their message. So Hudhud says, I found out something you don't know, speaking to the prophet Sulaiman. Oh, what do you mean? Animals are superior to human beings? That is an interesting subject. I found that it is interesting. Everybody knows, and we touched upon it slightly last week, certain animals are more qualified in one or two, at the most, subject, not all, in one capacity of hudhud, which, as we understand, goes and brings news from faraway places without traveling on the earth and finding out what is going on in themselves. We will understand that most of the scholars emphasize on the ability of hudhud to know what is under the earth. But we will understand that this has a figurative meaning. What is hidden under the earth? or within the earth. And human beings cannot really see what is behind a concrete or material being, like under the earth. They cannot see it, but Hudhud sees it. And some other animals also, bats also can see, not through the light, but through the air waves. That's what I read from the books. And some other animals can see better than human beings, which means God created human beings, as far as we can see in the world, in the best form. But for example, he gave me the ability to see to a certain extent. In my normal life, I may use some tools and see inside the very minute things, maybe beyond what naked eyes can see. By using tools, I may be able to make the tools. That is human ability, but animals don't have this. Apart from this, I understand that every animal has in one or at the most two, but usually one aspect of their ability more developed than human beings. It is a sign from the Creator that human beings are created with this capacity as far as their physical abilities, five senses are concerned. Maybe dogs can smell much better than human beings, and they know even the sense of fear in the minds or feelings of a human being, whereas human beings cannot see it. But human ability, when we talk about the human ability of the soul of the human beings, the capacity of the human beings, as far as making deductions, as far as making inductions and reasonings and coming to a conclusion and making an argument, etc. All these intellectual activities and also emotions of the human beings are not limited. Feelings are not limited. But animals' feelings are limited. Although some of them, one or two of them are better than human beings, but still they are limited. Apart from this, put this aside, God is demonstrating human beings that I created you with the ability to hear, but you hear only this much, but I can create more. Look at this animal. Look at this animal. For example, look at this plant. They are more beautiful than you are. For example, some in appearance, of course, physical appearance. So it is a demonstration of God's power that although human beings, as the scriptures, Revelation says, are created in the best form, but it's a general statement. In all of the aspects of human beings are better than any other, the other creatures that the Quran says. But we say, okay, I can see myself, really, I can reason, but dog doesn't. I can improve my sense of senses, my sense of feelings, my sense of, for example, ability to see or to hear something by making tools. Animals cannot do that. All right, that is fine. These are the general appearance of human beings as to be the best form of creation within the conditions of this universe, not according to the absolute qualities of the Creator, within the conditions of this universe, only within this world. Now, we can go and discuss even more about the comparison in one or two aspects of another animal and human beings. We understand that human beings are more developed in general, but some animals are better in one sense. only. It means God can demonstrate, it demonstrates that he can create even with a better power of sight, with a better power of hearing, with a better power of smell, for example. But this is what you are given, and you need that much, and you can use your intellect and improve your capacity by finding out the principles of creation within the order of the universe. That is the production of the human intellect. So use your intellect and make research, and you will find out in the order of the universe all different kinds of ways of uh, uh, improving your limited feelings. Now, let us move to the verse 23. All right, sorry. Let me see. Okay, 23. And Hutut carries on speaking, I found a woman ruling over them, Sheba, and she has been given of everything, and she possesses a mighty throne. Now, Hutut brings the news that it is its capacity, okay? A woman ruling over them. And it doesn't mean that, although it may scratch some people's ear, when a woman is ruling, it means this society will be corrupt. Not necessarily, though, because this woman will be the wisest ruler among the people. So let's be not prejudiced about women. So she has been given of everything. Look, they have received, according to the news that Hutut brought to the Prophet Suleiman, they have been given all blessings, graces of God, and she has a mighty throne. It means she has a really big authority. We will be careful about this word mighty throne, which is said in the Quran, Laha arshun azim, mighty throne. And we will see in the following verses that arshun azim, or mighty throne, belongs to God. It is a petty throne in this world. It is nothing, almost nothing. But we will see that his throne will be really brought to Suleiman, and she will understand that her throne is not worth anything, really. Look, somebody came and took it from me. It is transient. Arshun Azim is real. Arshun Azim belongs to God. So who can think that it's in comparison, it is a mighty throne. We will keep these elements in our minds. They have been given everything, and she possesses a very mighty power in the land that time. And what will happen at the end? We will keep this one in our memory. We will try to remember it. These are good elements that we may have everything in this world, and we may possess a mighty throne, very rich and influential, and maybe the kings and sultans, whatever we are. We will see what will happen before the power of the message of the messengers, prophets. These are nothing. We will see that. So we will keep this in mind. Now, verse 24, I found that she and her people worshiped the sun instead of God. Hudhud is aware they are doing something wrong. Satan has made their deeds seem alluring to them. It is Shaitan's business now to deviate their understanding from the right track, right path, to a wrong path, and diverted them from the right path. They cannot find the right path, I would add here, anymore. Why? Because they are listening to Satan. We always emphasize on the importance of the term Satan. And that we say that the Satan represents anything which doesn't exist. It means wrong, which doesn't exist in reality. It means they are just imagining. They are just claiming falsely about something. It is following the Satan's way, because the Quran also uses the same expression, referring to not necessarily in the month of Hudhud. In other verses, human beings are allured from the right path and diverted from the right path to the wrong path with or through the influence of Satan. We say anything wrong, anything which has no reality, and confirming it has no reality. Anything, for example, saying that the sun is the one who rules the universe or the world. It has no reality. It is not within the universe, therefore, it is not within human beings either. That is what we have to know. It is not innate in me to assume something wrong as to be right. It is not innate in me. It is not within my nature. I'm not created with this quality, but I am given the ability to choose between what the reality is or deny the reality and assume something completely imaginary which doesn't have any reality in existence. That is what the role the Quran really assigns to Satan. That is why it is external to human beings. When God invites people, the Creator invites people to be realistic, which means base your understanding on something which really exists in the universe, which really exists within your human feelings. Don't deny it. If you deny it, you will try to assume some imaginary pigments or whatever the human beings can make up, as the Hudhud brings the point here to our attention, that they worship the sun. Oh, so surprising. Even the Hudhud find it surprising because it doesn't have a reality. Sun is subject to the order of the universe. Sun cannot have any quality, any will, any knowledge, any power to do anything other than what it has been assigned to do certain job in its creation, decided by its creator. So how can they say that the sun is responsible for everything, or those blessings that this nation, these people received? Sun is the subject to the order. It has to set, it has to rise according to the position of the turning of the earth, globe of earth, revolving of the globe of the earth, and it has to emit sunlight, because it is given, if it is created in this way to do this job. So we have to understand this notion of Satan. Really, we very frequently mention that Satan represents non-existence. But people find when they read the Quran as if God is fighting with Satan, and say that, God and Satan are two powers really conflicting with each other. Of course, that is a satanic idea as well, because God warns human beings that something else which doesn't exist within you, neither within the reality of this universe, there is an alternative for you. This alternative has no reality. It is just a production of imagination. It is just an excuse to replace the truth so that the human beings may find out, if they don't want to submit themselves to the creator of the universe, they found out a way out, not to submit themselves, so that they will decide freely about what they are supposed to do, what they are going to do. That is just an option which doesn't have any reality. It is not an option that there is an apple, there is an orange, then you are given the option to choose one of them. So I say, I don't like apple, but I prefer juicy orange. This is not like this. So there is something existing and the other one doesn't exist, just opposite of existence, which doesn't exist. Okay, that is why Hudhud, or God through the mouth of Hudhud, in a figurative way, teaching us that those people who worship the sun instead of God, they follow Satan's alluring, Satan's diversion. So if you follow Satan, it means if you follow your false imaginations, which shouldn't have any existence in reality, then you cannot find the right path for you. It means you cannot find out your reality. Your reality. That is what your reality is. Okay, Monica's writes. Now let me read. This is so right, and so few people get it. And of course, God didn't create Satan, because only existence comes from him who is all existing. Existence doesn't issue non-existence. So true. Yeah. Existence doesn't issue non-existence. Beautiful. I appreciate this, Monica. Thank you. Thank you very much. I thought somebody was going to ask, then if we say that Satan is only representing the non-existence and there's no Satan, then there's no Satan. So God says, I created Satan. I created Iblis with my hand. How can you, of course, in the scripture, how can you really disobey me now? Disobey my will, my command. So do you think the Quran is telling something not really true? It means there is no Satan, but the Quran says there is Satan. Let me tell you a very simple example. If somebody has this problem in his mind, confusing him, what this man is speaking as if Satan doesn't exist. No, Satan exists. How? If I say 2 + 2 makes 5, this is satanic. Does 2 + 2 makes 5 exists? Yes. In reality, no. It is in my imagination. There is no such 2 + 2 = 5. But in my imagination, it exists. I can choose this option. That is Satan. So it exists, but in reality, in the existence of the universe, there is no evidence that 2 plus 2 makes 5 we can find in the universe. It is something like this. Very simple example, which satisfies me. If it doesn't satisfy you, you can come up with your questions and counter arguments. I would love to hear you. Satan exists. If I say God doesn't exist, that's it. This is satanic. Look, it existed. My saying is existed, but in reality, the content of there is no God at all. When I say this, does this reality represent, does this sentence represent any reality in the world? No. But my saying there is no God at all exists. Do you see what I mean? The human beings have this option. All right, let me see. Okay, Monica carries on writing. Thank you, Monica. Satan exists in the reality of duality, time, change, choice between good and evil. Satan doesn't exist in the reality of one. It means in the reality of existence as it is created. So, for example, if I say 2 plus 2, 5 is not created. But my ability to see 2 plus 2 equals 5 exists. In reality, it doesn't represent any reality out in the creation. I think we have to understand this simple problem, though some people find it unsolvable. It's very simple. The challenge for us to depart from duality and return to the one who creates the whole universe. Got it. Okay, let's go back. Oh, just whatever. Okay, 25. Should they not worship God? The Hudhud is expressing its wonder. Who, it's very important now, what Hudhud is saying according to his capacity, its capacity. Should they not worship God who brings forth what is hidden in the heavens and earth? Oh, what does it mean? God brings forth what is hidden in the heavens and earth. Any idea? Please. God, I'm repeating, is extremely important for me, but we will see whether you will find it important or not for us, for practical reasons. Because in the verse 24, they worship sun. We know that people don't worship sun nowadays, but they worship even the pettiest thing in the world, matter, atom. They say atom itself existed by itself, eternally, like this. It sustains this existence by itself. Look at this. At least the people of Sheba, to me, were more clever than today's materialist scientists. In one respect, yes, because those people let this saw that the sun is doing something there, emitting light and being the reason for life. It is within the order of the universe. For example, it is God's plan, it is God's will that he promises he will create life with the sunlight, water, etc. together. That is his order of creation. At least it happens within the order that sun is employed for a job. How about the particles? They develop themselves. They don't have any reason, It means, people, I would ask them, these materialist people, instead of worshiping the matter itself, at least worship something, the tree or sun. Apparently, trees are giving fruits and doing lots of functionings, and sun is emitting light and being the cause for, material cause. It means the order of cause and effect. So cause for life. But matter itself alone has no quality at all. Uh, people of Sheba were more clever than materialists of the 21st century. That's what my conclusion was. And of course, all of them are wrong, but at least these Sheba people were more clever than today's materialist scientists. So come to this point, God, who brings forth what is hidden in the heavens and earth. Let me see, something is written again. Rona writes, he brings forth the true reality of the existence of the heavens and earth, which Satan had diverted them from, as mentioned in the previous verse. MashaAllah, Barak. I think you have been joining these halakas from long before Harona. Thank you. That is excellent. Yeah, that is the point. It is God who brings forth what is hidden in the heavens and earth. That is our duty, human duty. We have to find out. We have to bring forth what is hidden in the heavens and the earth. It means what is hidden in the structure of this universe. When we look at the universe, we see nothing but matter. But the activities are going on. By employing the matter, what we understand it's a sign or full of signs to the quality of the creator of the matter, and putting the matter, the creator of the matter, and this creator puts the matter in motion. As a result of this motion, an unimaginable quality of the art is demonstrated, exhibited in front of human minds, human feelings, so that we are expected to bring forth the meaning hidden in the earth and in the heavens. It means bring forth the meaning inscribed in the actions of the movements, the motion of the creation of this universe. The matter is just a veil on it. Matter is used, but what is demonstrated there? The qualities of the arts, different kinds of qualities, the power, the knowledge, the wisdom, the mercy, the balance, the measurement, the shape, the beauty, ugliness, whatever the qualities you see, all of them are demonstrated there. We have to find it out, like looking at the book and finding out the meaning which is written in the sentence, which is written on the book within the sentence, just discovering it, bringing forth the meaning inscribed in the writings of the book. Materialists don't do that. Then they don't try to see the meaning. On the contrary, they reduce the meaning to meaninglessness, purposelessness, happening by accident. Anything happens by accident. Are you going to find out any meaning in it? Accident means meaningless activity, purposeless activity. Although when we carefully look at the universe, there is no accident in the universe. There is no accident in the universe. Everything is perfectly organized within the order of the universe, and there is no accidental happening in the order of the universe. Order of the universe is fixed. But within this fixed order of the universe, this order is again being changed in a fixed order. It is incredible to imagine order within order, order within order, continuously changing, but never confusion happens. Everything comes out is perfect. So Hud says, anyone who doesn't bring forth what is hidden in the heavens and earth, it means in the heavens and earth. That means what is hidden in the meaning of these activities going on in the universe, which appears to be only matter. All the qualities of all kinds of artists that this artist, he demonstrates his qualities through the actions. It's, if you like, play it with the matter. We are expected to bring forth the meaning hidden behind them. It is human. We can understand. We can understand in our relationship if somebody, for example, says something to me nice, I understand that this person wants to be kind to me and have a good relationship with me. And otherwise, if someone behaves me nastily, I understand that this person doesn't like me and he doesn't want me to be a friend of him or her. We can derive meanings out of all this. So Hud is really wondering which kind of people they are, since they cannot find out what is hidden behind the matter. Nowadays, we are also expected to find out by examining the world how the things are becoming into existence and which kind of meanings are hidden within them. It is not difficult. We can see, I love this, this is beautiful, I don't like this, this is ugly. We can see that we can say, oh, I want to eat it, I want to have it, I want to really use this useful thing for me, I'm going to benefit from it. It means we are continuously in interaction with the rest of the universe, and we always attach some sort of values which are attached to this matter, not the matter itself only that we are interested in. For example, when I eat something, I'm not interested in the atomic structure or atomic elements of the thing, but the taste is there, beauty is there, so usefulness is there, and the satisfaction, the quality of satisfying my needs. And when I swallow them in my body and my stomach really digests them, etc., my cells benefit from it, and I benefit from it. I become energetic at the end. All these activities are meaningful activities, full of wisdom, full of purpose, and of course, I have to think about them because I have the ability, the reality is out there. I can easily come to a conclusion and understand what is hidden behind the activities of matter, so that the matter cannot be responsible for these activities. They have no free will, like the elements of, let's say, when we look at When I look at a house, for example, a building, I see that there are bricks on it or concrete, whatever material things. But what makes this matter a house is the art, architecture, the useful or the beneficial arrangement of the things in the house. That is the result of a conscious action. I understand that this house is made for me. So it is worth this and this because I pay for it and I utilize it. At the end, I see this electrical system and or the water supply system, heating system, cooling system, whatever, the windows, doors, and walls, etc., or the location of the house. All the things are arranged consciously. But apparently, there is only matter. Of course. But what I see the qualities of the maker in the structure of the house. That is why I pay for the house. Not matter only, as a house, as a made. It has the qualities. So in my practical life, I always interact with the, sorry. No, I always interact with the qualities of the things, not the things themselves, qualities of the things. So these are the hidden things in the heavens and earth. So we have to understand that Hudud is also giving a good message to us. Now, and Hudud carries on, describing this God brings forth what is hidden within the earth and in the heavens and the earth. It says, this is God, and continues describing the God. It understands God, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa, Rabbul Arshil Azim. Now come to the conclusion, there is no God but He, the Lord of the mighty throne. Now, he recognized that real mighty throne belongs to God, who can be described only there is nothing which deserves any divine quality, any power to create, any power to do anything. But there must be someone who gave existence to this universe. And this one is God, what we call it, God, the source of existence of this world. So, any more comments? Come on. So, we understand that Queen of Sheba, the ruler of Sheba, we don't know her name, but people make up some names for it. It's not mentioned in the Quran. The ruler of Sheba thought she has a mighty throne. Hudhud thinks the Lord of the mighty throne is God, and there is no other element in the world which has any divine power, divine quality at all. So let's concentrate on the following verses now. 27, Solomon said, we shall see whether you are telling the truth or lying. Human beings are always suspicious, doubtful. Yes, what Hudu said, God is the one who is the Lord of mighty throne, and there is no other God at all. That is true. But how about the people of Sheba? They are really worshiping the sun? They don't worship God? Let me see. Because human beings has to confirm the news when they receive from others. Of course, we know the famous verse in the Quran, all those believers, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. If somebody brings you, an untrustful person brings you a news, فتبينوا, investigate it. Don't take it for granted. Yes, Hudhud believes in God, but doesn't mean that anybody who believes in God and confirms that the mighty throne belongs to God alone will not, at least, let's assume that not telling a lie, but at least misconception of the event, investigated. Let's see. Solomon, the prophet Sulaiman, is demonstrating an example there. If you hear a news from somebody and saying that, Wallahi, I believe in God and this happened. No. The narration may be false interpretation. You don't know. We must make sure, as far as we are concerned, of course, it doesn't mean that we are the yardstick of the truth. But at the same time, if I am going to believe in someone, as far as I am concerned, I have to investigate it as much as I can. That is my responsibility. So it's a good example here that Sulaiman says, no, okay, you got the news, thank you, but I have to investigate it. Okay, what does the Prophet Sulaiman do now? Take this letter, verse 28. Take this letter of mine and deliver it to them. It is a test. Now, go and take this letter of mine and deliver it to them. Because the Sulaiman wants to make sure that whether they really worship Meta, what is sun or something else, Meta, or really what is hidden behind the existence of Meta, the meaning, the qualities of the creator of the matter. Let's see that. Then deliver it to them, and then withdraw from them. It means, okay, leave it and go away and see what response they will have. Now he says, investigating now. Okay, let's see which kind of letter was it. The Queen of Sheba said, counselors. She has counselors. She's a clever one, clever, really. She's a reasonable ruler. That's good. Let's see. She's an honest person, seems to be. But she may be wrong in her belief. But in her human quality, she's an honest, and also she's really consistent with her human side, which is weak human beings. We cannot really know everything, so we have to have consultations with other people. So those people who know. So counselors, and Malak, it is called in the Quran. A noble letter has been delivered to me. She received the letter now. These are all symbolic teachings, of course. We know, how do we know? It's not important whether Sheba received the letter or not. Our relationship with other people is important. The Quran is teaching us all our moral, ethical values. Now, Sheba asks her counselors. It means we have to make consultations with those people who are expert on the subject. We are not expected to know everything. That is a lesson for me. She is now asking. She is being a good example for me now, presented by God here in the Quran, here, and said, look, she will have a counseling with the experts around her to decide about a very serious matter. It is surprising that she says to the counselors, look at the point of view of the difference between the Queen of Sheba and counselors. How do they see the world? And at the end, we will understand that Queen of Sheba has not spoiled, corrupt her human qualities, although she is the leader of the people who worship the sun. But her human qualities are not corrupt because she has not received the message. And she, as soon as receives the message, she will confirm it. That's what the ethic of the teachings of these stories here, the part of Suleiman's story here. Be careful not to spoil your human nature, not to condition yourself. Never condition yourself for negation. Be open. When you receive the truth, when you realize what the reality is, be comfortable to confirm it. Don't say, no, I am the queen, I am the ruler, or I am such and such person, I am the expert on the subject. I'm not going to accept anybody's idea, any other option of reasoning. I will reject it directly, as long as any idea does not confirm my understanding. That is wrong. That is what we learn from Sheba. It is from Solomon. Sheba says now to her counselors, it is from Solomon, and it is in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. That is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, very famous among all Muslim populations in the world. Everybody knows that. This is the verse in the Quran, and indisputably mentioned in the Quran. The others are mentioned in the beginning of the sections of the Quran are disputed, but this is there, sure. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is a verse from the Quran. So is a part of the verse from the Quran. So look at this now. We mentioned very beginning of this series of discussions about the story of Solomon in the Quran. We said the Solomon represents the messengership in the example of a king who has an army which is wonderful, which is unaccustomed. But we kept saying that, look, this is not a real army to fight and kill people. This is the army of the evidence that the prophets have for their messages to confirm that this message is correct. Nothing to do with king's army. Look at this. It is from Solomon, and it is in the name of God, not in this name of Solomon, the king of something, but then the names of a large land. No. The compassionate, the merciful. Oh, the message of the Prophet Solomon appears to be in the position of a king, says, my authority is in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Oh my God, what a misconception we have as we present Solomon as a king and his army as an army who's going to destroy the nations or something. No, no, no. The prophets are not employed to destroy the nations. Prophets are employed to revive the nations, to help them. It is in the name of God. It is not in the power of the king of somewhere. And this God is the compassionate one, the merciful. I think we should refresh our minds about the common interpretations of the many prophetic stories in the Quran. I found it amazing to look at the matter from another perspective, rather than this general understanding, which is mostly formed under the influence of the stories, Israeliyat stories. I mean, Israeliyat stories. There is a historical reason why people were under the influence of this Israeliyat, with the stories of the children of Israel. They were superior in their civilization during the life of the prophet. And of course, they were really looking up to them. So when their rabbis, their scholars speak about the scriptures, their scripture, Torah narration, they narrate lots of things, and they were admiring them. They're saying that these people know a lot, so they must know something. This must be truth. And this cultural heritage kept its place in the following generations. And unfortunately, this attitude had a great impact on the interpretations of the Quranic teaching, especially as far as the narrations of the prophetic stories in the Quran, because they are open for interpretation in an arbitrary way. So we have to be very careful when we hear some sort of interpretations of the stories of the prophet in the Quran. Be careful. We have to be careful which interpretations are made under the influence of Israelite narrations, stories, which are really consistent within the teachings of the Quran. So this letter, starting from Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, has nothing to do with worldly power at all. I mean, come on, it is impossible to accept that. So Queen of Sheba continues to speak to the counselors. Don't put yourselves above me. Sorry, I'm sorry, very sorry. The letter of Solomon continues, don't put yourself above me and come to me in submission to God. Muslim, because Muslim by definition is submission to God. Look, don't put yourself above me. Maybe the counselors will understand that, the counselors will understand that this man is man of power, material power. That is why he is trying to influence us and also threaten us. But the prophet says, come to me. The prophet Suleiman says, come to me in submission to God, Muslimin. Oh, not submission to my power, submission to God. And we will learn later on in the continuation of this story in the Quran, told in the Quran, this is this God is going to be acknowledged by the Queen of Sheba as the Lord of the world, the universe. It is so clear. Submission means submitting yourself to the Lord of the universe. It means the one who creates, holds, and administers, controls the whole universe. That is what I am asking you to come. Don't put yourself above me, needs a great explanation. We need to really be consistent within the general teachings of the Quran. It means within the general context of the Quran. We will put the case, inshallah, next week, within the general context of the Quran and try to understand what does it mean. Allah ta'alu alayya. It means, looks like a power struggle or power conflict. I am more powerful than you are. Submit yourself to me. No, no, no. Don't put yourself above me. Doesn't mean power-wise. What is that then? Come to me in submission to God. What means? Utuni Muslimin. So we have to be very careful with the phrase, with the word Muslim in the Quran. If we don't really understand Muslim as submission to God and say that as a Muslim, the follower of the religion of Muhammad is contradictory because Suleiman is long before Muhammad. So this name Muslim, which is a political name, a title, in fact, Quran doesn't use it as a title. So we will discuss this verse, inshallah, in great detail next week. And then continue, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Do you have any comment or anything more to say? Anybody? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati sirri surah al-Fatiha. Inshallah, I see you next Saturday, Monday, and next Wednesday. Fi amanillah. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah for joining me and making this discussion alive for